Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. In today's matchup, the passing game will be a focus. The Vikings are top 10 in forcing interceptions, and they'll be up against the Jags team that has to be careful passing the football. With that, we'll send it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. They've got the call in this Week 5 matchup.
We are at the newest stadium in the NFL, and its inaugural year. There's a look inside U.S. Bank Stadium here in Minneapolis. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Minnesota Vikings. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. This is taken about 7 yards deep. Oh, he shifts past him. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. Come out throwing here to start the drive. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. They come out here in the eye. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll get this up to about the 40. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. The starters now on offense, and Stephon Diggs, our first chance to see him today.
Brandon, remember we had this conversation about how highly recruited he was in high school. Didn't quite live up to it in college due to some injuries, but boy, has he hit the NFL like a bomb. Stephon Diggs, a crafty, mature route runner who can go the distance.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Call it a gain of 7, and it gives him a new set of downs.
Any team that runs the toss and runs it successfully, that means they win the battle on the edges. That means you seal the edge in order to let your back get to the corner. They got it done there for a very nice game.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. And for Jacksonville, their defensive starters, the youngster, the rookie out of UCLA, Miles Jack, a guy to watch.
You have to watch him because he can make a big play from just about anywhere on the field. Top 5 talent. Ends up going number 36 because of a knee injury last year at UCLA. They'll use him all over the place for matchup situations, and he will wreak havoc.
So 3rd and 5, 3rd and medium here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice game.
The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. To throw now on 2nd and 10. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 to the 5-yard line.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Just looking at it from a defensive perspective, when you break the huddle in the red zone, tight end is one of the guys you've got to key on because quarterbacks want the ball in their hands fast in this position, and they want to get it to someone. And in this case, he had the play.
And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. The coverage good, the pressure good, leads to the sack, and it's 3rd and goal now. Following the sack, they go from the 13 on 3rd and goal. They'll drop to throw. And is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, your first drive of the first quarter, you get it down there, try to fire it in the end zone, and big-time deflation on that play.
No doubt about it. They're moving and grooving and getting into position, and this is not the ending that they saw on this drive, is it? They had things going their way.
They come out here in the I. And he'll give it here to his running back. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. And here's a look at the starting offense. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Call it an 8-yard gain, much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard. They'll set up a throw. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Shift together here from the D-line. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he takes it across midfield to the 45. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him. So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. All week in practice, they stressed grounding, pounding the football, and they really executed it well there to get the first down.
That usually means getting back to being physical in practice, because when you emphasize pounding the football, it doesn't really come together unless you practice it the same way you're going to play it in the game. That means more bodies, more pads, and a whole lot of popping last week, and they got it done in the game.
Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Quickly now a look at the defensive starters for Minnesota.
Trey Waynes is a very aggressive cover corner player, learning how to add off coverage to his game.
And from the 3 now, it's 2nd and goal. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Now here's his, and he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. It's their quarterback, his first touchdown on the year. And the Jags have taken the early lead. And this is up and good. The score now 7-0 Jaguars. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 yards with a new rule as he's taken down right at the 20-yard line. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should... flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
They come up in an offset eye. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. So now a 3rd and 12 with an extra defender here in the secondary. A nickel look. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. 23 yards on the play.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Muscles him off. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
A 1-yard gain can look like a disaster, but all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
Looking for his running back, and he's got it. A very solid gain of 27.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. They'll look to throw here on first down. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it's a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the...
Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. Always got some breathing room.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's across the 43 extra yards to the 43. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
I know the toss play begins for the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is,
he rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. And out now come the Vikings. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects him.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is, because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do? You got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end. Take some easier completions.
It's caught inside the 25. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. On the end around now, this is Nelson. Second down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
Everyone's looking for the big runs, the explosive runs, the 20 to 30-yard plays. But anytime you're picking up good yardage and setting yourself up on down and distance, offenses love that too.
3 yards left to grab here on 3rd down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Now Chandler Catanzaro for the field goal here.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to...
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up. A live ball here, remember. And they're going to come up empty here on 4th down.
Please tell me this doesn't come off as snarky. But that's a relative chip shot. I mean, you've got to be able to execute that one. I don't care what they design on the other side about trying to block the kick. That should be 3 points on the board.
Yeah, and we've talked about it before. If you're out at 55, 60 yards, low trajectory from here, you get that thing up, this should be 3.
Yeah, there's nothing routine in football, but this one really almost should be. Snap, hold, kick, ball through the post. Didn't happen that way.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
I can't help it. I'm just sitting back in admiration right now. This defense tells everyone that plays against them, you're not...
A battle for it, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And they have to feel like they missed on an opportunity for points last time when they couldn't connect on that short field goal try.
And no doubt about it, because they were counting on those points. In today's NFL, let's face it, that's really a chip shot, right?
That's anything inside 40.
Yeah, they're counting on that going through the post. But we've seen it happen to teams before.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Stephon Diggs, his first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give them 11 on the gain there. And it's good enough for a Jacksonville first. Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together. Going down the middle, and it's complete. It's a gain of 21 that time. And that'll be good for a Jacksonville first down. He had time, was able to survey the field and find a soft spot in that zone coverage.
And that's where it gets difficult for a defender, Brandon. You go to your spots on the field that you have to cover, and when the offense finds an area that you're not in, that's where they throw the football.
Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. 1:59 to go in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. Offense staying ahead of the chains here, 2nd and 3. They come out here in the eye. Back to throw again. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he sensed being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Now a handoff here to his running back. And that play went. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So on 4th down, on comes the Jaguars. Jason Myers now for the field goal try. From the right hash, this from 53. And this one is right down the middle. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense, and over the post.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, let's see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust. That was a good, strong run there. And while it won't pick up a first down, it was definitely something needed by that offense. A positive run. They got a good push by their guys up front. Maybe something they can build on as this game continues.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves to James.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
First down, he'll drop to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. The pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Let's go. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
My next teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, You really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. So on fourth down, the Jags send out Brad Nortman to punt.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
He gets this away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they've got enough to talk about at the half. Why do anything else? Just get out of there.
Here we go.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So as they take it over, we step aside. They'll throw now on the final play. He's going to wind up and air it out. And they can't get the long connection as it falls incomplete. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Jaguars out on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando where Larry Ridley has our EA Sports halftime report. Larry, so both teams have their marching orders and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
10 yards still left on second down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
All right, here we go.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. Looking to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
Defense thinking pass. They've got the nickel set out on 3rd and 6. And he comes back with one complete. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
It takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because You've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. And then moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3. And quickly, they get to the line. They'll drop the throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets them up 1st and goal. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defense side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield. Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
And they'll run it here. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Now back to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Their big-bodied receiver. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Jaguars add on to their lead. It's good to make it 17-7. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start. On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
Second down now after the incompletion. Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
And so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. They get to him for a loss of 4, and it brings up 3rd down on the sack.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
And he dropped it. Now it was tipped, altered the ball a little bit, but he dropped it, and now 4th down. Here's Ryan Quigley now, as he's on to punt for the first time tonight.
But, partner, anytime someone tells me that fundamentals are leaving the game, I'm going to show them this play because they couldn't get to the passer. So what do you have to do? Get your hands up in the passing lane, and they batted it away on a 3rd down attempt.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
Time running out here on the play clock. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. And they're not going to get this one off in time. It'll be a delay. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. They'll get 16 yards there. And the Jags are going to have a 1st down. And the offense lining up 1st and 10. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
He'll look to throw. He's got time. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And it's a big turnover there on the final play of the quarter. Back now at beautiful new U.S. Bank Stadium. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the 4th. And they'll start this drive with very good field position. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
How many times when we see an incomplete pass, we just look at the receiver and say, should have caught that one. That was a drop, and we just put it on the offense. How about a little credit for the defense there? They just forced an incompletion.
Yeah, especially after starting in a tough spot defensively, but a good start there on 1st down.
That gave them a little extra confidence there, starting, as you said, in a tough spot and being able to make a play on 1st down. We just saw another example of really good defensive football, which has led to the cushion that they have in this game. Got to him once again, knocked him on the ground, forced an incompletion.
Yeah, they've set the tone. It's one thing to set the tone, another to come in here on the road and set the tone. So here we go now. An extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. Back to throw here. His throw caught right on the 6. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Their big tight end. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set to go again. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and it'll make it a second down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation. And this situation with a lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
And they're just a couple of yards shy of a first down here on 3rd down.
All right, now look at 56. Look at 56. Green 39. Green 39. Good, good. Good, good. All right, here we go. Leopard. Leopard.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down. Here's Brad Nordman now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they've got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent. But you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series. That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone.
2nd down following the run. Shift together here from the D-line.
Here we go. Black Brown. Black Brown. Ohio.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He's going to air one out. That's caught at the 25. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
Back to throw. That is caught at the 7. And they do stop him, but he takes it all the way to the 2.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they could do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
From the 2-yard line now, it's 1st and goal. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
So often you hear defensive coaches talk about we need all 11 on every play in order to be a good run-stopping unit. And sometimes it starts to sound a little cliche. But did you see the free safety on that play? Knifing through and running down the ball carrier. A huge, huge play. And when you have a free safety who can run like that, you've got to turn him loose.
He'll look to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. They'll wind up losing 3 there on the sack, and that makes things tougher here on 3rd and goal.
Well, in my time in football, I've yet to see a playbook that draws up offensive plays designed to lose yardage. A running play loses yardage on 1st down. They try and throw it, take a sack on 2nd down. What can the offensive coordinator come up with here on 3rd down?
And the defense lines up looking for one final stop.
And they will be playing for the pass in this situation, not expecting any type of a run.
He'll drop to throw. This will be caught at about the 5. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Well, you know me pretty well now. You know what I want to do after that completed pass. 4th down, down by 3. What do I want to do here?
You want to go for it. You might be tempted. I think they need to kick it.
Yeah, someone might.
And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And Catanzaro's kick is right through. And we are all tied here in the final stages. So now then, it's a big kick there to get this game back to even. Now the worry is, did you leave too much time on the clock? Because another field goal could still do you in.
Brandon, we're going to see right here. I would expect that after the kickoff, this offense is going to come out throwing. So those first few plays are going to be the key.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And now out come the Jags. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And he'll give it here to his running back across the 30 to the 31-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. And now they're in the hurry-up. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Well, timeout on their side here. In fact, a lot going against them. They do have a small glimmer of hope.
No one likes to play extra football. They want to go for the win right now.
A 1st down carry now for Yeldon. And able to push his way forward. And another timeout called by the Vikings now. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Now back to throw. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And down inside the 15 he goes.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players. Somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination. Guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
This will be caught at about the 5. It's a gain of 9 yards. And it'll be 2nd and about a yard to go for the first. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Just a gain of a yard, but it's going to set him up with a 1st and goal. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. And it is good. splits the uprights on the chip shot. And the Jaguars have won the game. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted, no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Jack.